Ladies and gentlemen, I came to within $499 of my June THORnews fundraiser goal. And for that, I thank y'all very much, Asteroid Fight Club, because it was enough to pay rent and keep electricity on, so THORnews lives for another month. I put up an edited video earlier today called The Bitcoin Batman. It's really cool, and I edited it, and it's awesome. Highly recommend checking out if you have time and are interested. After crashing pretty hard, Bitcoin is now kind of on the upswing again. I don't know, it's at like 37,000 because Elon Musk changed his profile to a Bitcoin diamond laser-eyed girl or from manga or some shit. My hackers were very upset today. I don't know, for some reason they thought I wasn't going to make it in June. The 4th is always such an interesting day where I feel super grateful. Well, let's talk about weather. It is being stormy and floody in a lot of places, especially in the south, but parts of the northeast also. And at THORnews, we've been tracking this atmospheric river, which goes over the south and then wraps up to the northeast for a couple years now, and it seems to be growing more consistent and larger and longer. And so the flooding problems are just starting now, and I have predicted they will definitely last through July. And so the rainy flood season has just begun, y'all. Make preparations properly. And I ain't got to tell y'all, it's kind of volcano-y in a lot of areas. And it definitely looks like Earth is just letting off heat in a lot of spots. That's Cuba. Hey, 2021 is super crazy, wild, and I guess dangerous. Feels like I could die any day. You could die any day. So try to enjoy life while you can. We're now going to talk about North Dakota quite a bit, which is not something we always do. Because like today, there's a severe weather watch going on there. Tomorrow, your severe weather watches are coming in high and tight. And it's 106 degrees in Bismarck, North Dakota. I repeat, it's 106 degrees in Bismarck, North Dakota, which is fair to say that is not normal. And it would also explain why the mini ice age grand solar minimum guys have been so grumpy and pesky and poking me with a sticky over the last few months / years. Because they're probably really not right at all. And there are 2 sunspots on the sun right now, and the sun has only been sunspotless for like 30% of the time of this year, going into a solar maximum. So any talk of the sun just going into hibernation is super goofy QAnon science. Yep. Anywho, things are crazy, man. And nobody knows what the sun is going to do next. I repeat, nobody knows what the sun is going to do next. We could see big major earthquakes soon. We could see big major volcano eruptions in places people weren't really expecting soon. I don't know, man. Why is everybody going to fight all the time? Life is so crazy. Life is so dangerous. We need some more civility and civilization. Plus humor. Definitely humor. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to mention, I can't even warn you guys enough just to be prepared energetically, spiritually, emotionally, physically, because things always get weird after and around a solar eclipse. I mean, it's just so weird that the sun and the moon perfectly shaped in front of each other, even though no matter what, there is a distance that separates them. Because I believe God is a genius divine architect. But we don't have to get into that right now. And possibly never. We can talk about it when we're both dead, I guess. And then we can be like, I was right, or I was wrong, or we're both wrong. Or man, the human brain was tiny and small and couldn't conceive much in the grand scheme of things. What was it talking about? Oh, yes. And so we always look out for a big storm about 4 or 5 days later, but the week leading up to the eclipse, solar eclipse, is usually crazy. And then the week after the solar eclipse is totally crazy. And the energy right around the time that the sun is eclipsing the earth and the moon is totally crazy, man. And so just be ready, you know? I personally spent like 11 days helping my mom move at the end of May. And then I got back and was doing my fundraiser, and my fundraiser just ended. Asterisk, I didn't make it all the way, so technically it goes on the whole month. I try not to be annoying about it, though, but I'm just saying. And so, I don't know, it's been a gauntlet, man, and it continues to be a gauntlet, and will probably continue to be a gauntlet, not just for me, but you personally, and everything going on around everywhere. But I'm super happy, I'm super positive, I'm super grateful, and I'm remaining optimistic. Plus, hurricane season is about to start, and we are definitely, absolutely watching for a major storm about 4 to 5 days after the eclipse, which would fall around the 14th or 15th, and the models are already starting to hint at stuff. Don't even get me started on the earthquakes and the volcanoes, especially going into a hurricane season. But Brendan is wishing y'all a happy donut day. Apparently, so is the map and the rain. Hey, man, if you really want a snow map, you really need a snow map to have a good weekend. Here's your snow map, brought to us by the Climatologist 49, Brian Brett Schneider. All right. But thank you again, Asteroid Fight Club. This is my mood again today. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. All the rain in Texas is really putting me in like a weird, dreamy, super chill, melancholy state. And the weather situation only gets more interesting. Yeehaw. Korean model showing a crossover, and the Hurricane Man WX doesn't know how reliable this model is, or technically how reliable any model out there anywhere is. Notice it comes around our 14th to 15th-ish date. And so we definitely want to be staying and paying attention. You know what I'm saying? Because the CAG area is the main area we're looking out for. And as I'd been saying, that Jupiter moved into Pisces with Neptune and won't be there until it retrogrades back at the end of July and August, really. So it is going to be rainy and stay rainy probably for 7 more weeks. So the overall situation could end up getting scary in some spots. You know what scares me, though? The idea of trusting a woman romantically again. But hopefully one day I can get over that fear. Anyway, here we're looking at the giant sinkhole in Mexico. And it is growing bigger, and it is now threatening a house. So, like I keep saying, don't take life for granted. You got major volcanoes popping off, not only in Mexico, Guatemala, but in the Caribbean, but across the world, really. You got people popping off at each other all the time. The economy is like so batshit crazy right now, the markets. And nobody seems to be focused on having a peaceful summer of rock and roll. I want to bring back old-fashioned jams, man. And it's just weird how, originally at THORnews, when things got too weird, I got into weather because it seemed to be like the safe place where I could talk about everything else through weather. But then weather's become just a battlefield to social media / YouTube / who controls the Thunderdome or whatever. Remember in 2014 when I was like, I don't think the James Webb Space Telescope's ever going to work. And then it worked yet. It was supposed to launch in 2008. It's now 2021. And like, yeah, we don't know if we're going to launch it this year. So weird. Putin said the U.S. ransomware allegations are an attempt to stir pre-summit trouble. So, the overall situation is weird. And on one level, you have to have China, the Americas, and Russia getting along, or we end up in a really bad place. And we don't really want to go to a really bad place, yo. But a lot of times you get miracles exactly when you needed them. Matt Lanza showing us, look, tough to script a much better outcome today in terms of rainfall. Though some flash flooding did occur near Baycliffe and San Leon, the heaviest rain fell over the bay. Heaviest rain off the east down with isolated stuff elsewhere. So it fell in there and then washed back in the ocean. So that was cool. Because we've had a lot of rain down in South Texas. And it's always weird how my hackers and haters start talking shit a few days before. My fundraiser is over and whether or not I'm going to pay rent. And they're like, we got you this time. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, shout out to all the good guardians in the world. See, there's some flooding out there in New York. And there's definitely been some flooding in Houston. A I6YR. New sitcom title. It's always flooding somewhere in Houston. P.S. Hope y'all are okay. That's a lot of water. And it makes me very glad that I live on the second floor. And how would you like some Canadian, British Columbia flood warnings and watches in place across the Northwest, while multiple properties west of Terrace have been evacuated and one person has died in an incident? RCMP say it is likely related to flooding. Man, it's time to hit the button on everybody leveling up. You know what I'm saying? Because the future's only going to get more challenging. You know, I would like to believe that Atmospheric Defense Team, Prayer Warriors, Asteroid Fight Club are going to do a super great job this hurricane season, but you got to prepare for like a worst case scenario. Like in my mind, you don't have to agree, but the like ransomware attacks, especially on American infrastructure, have become bigger and bolder since Biden turned president. So I think that the good guys are helping with preventing hurricanes from hitting major areas as like Cat 5. But what if I'm wrong? And now the guys who before were invested in not having storms hit like Florida or big cities in Texas now are angrier to help the Bitcoin price go up. So we're going to start getting hit with major category 5 hurricanes. That would be like a worst case scenario. And if they just kept punching our good cities in the face with big hurricanes, that would suck. I don't know. Like I said, it could be somewhere between like hurricane season 2019 or hurricane season 2017. That's how I'm looking at it. You can look at it how you want to. But we're still about 10 days away from the danger zone period of the 14th. And I'm trying to watch pretty much a lot of the model runs, get an idea. But we're expecting our first hurricane landfall between 14th of June and the 14th of July. Man, in the spirit of God, fellowship, and all mankind and fireflies, can't we all try to just have a good 4th of July? You know, pretty please? Come on. Yeah, Russians are talking about pulling out of the space station, and China just put up a brand new space station really fast. And so things are going down, like cryptos versus fiat, and the fiat guys are fighting with each other, and I just want us all to get along with like peace and teamwork. You know, it'd be nice to end all war. Everybody stop fighting. But, you know, it's okay to dream, especially if sometimes the world is a nightmare. And then there's the whole June UFO angle we've barely scratched the surface on. We can talk about that later. Hopefully over margaritas. Shout out to the Texas Angel and the Army. And everybody in Asteroid Fight Club, plus all the cool people on Earth. Yeah, the whole UFOs and the Biden and Putin, that's gonna be, seems like it's going to be a big story in June. Biden is Catholic, Roman Catholic, and Putin is Eastern Orthodox. I started looking into the differences. They're both big fans of Jesus, though, from what I was told. You know, am I being too conversational? All right, I'll pull it down with some fluffy news. Olivia Rodrigo breaks Taylor Swift's streaming songs record with 8 simultaneous top 10s, and she did the driver's license song, which I didn't really get into until I got my car, and then I was driving around listening to it, and I was like, oh yeah, this song is awesome. And she did a song that was very Avril Lavigne-ish called Good For You. I don't know, she's 18 now. It's weird how Disney pumps them out. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, Eclipse energy. It's going to keep everything super weird for like 6 more days. I don't think we'll be able to see it that well in Texas. But the East Coast, especially like the Northeast, you guys are going to get big spoonfuls of it. So after helping my mom and then doing the fundraiser, technically today and tomorrow I'm coasting. But I just put out an edited video and this video. So this is my version of coasting, I guess. Yeah, have I talked about how like it's going to continue to be floody and problematic? I'm hammering the nail again. All right, how about some swirly, corally clouds that look like monsters but aren't? Brought to us by Profesh, Jenny, Berkeley, and Sierra. Pretty neat looking, you know. Mother Nature, super fascinated. And perpetual. Or you're going to get pretty earthquakey. Last night, you try to figure out, is that cockney? I'm special. You're special. We're all special. Just like your face. All right, this is a volcano down in Mexico. All right, we are watching the 14th, 15th, 16th super closely because it's like 5 days after that eclipse thing that I'm talking about. And, you know, it's the start of hurricane season. Okie dokie. I think this is your Planetary Defense Commander update. I know it is. And expect the drought and water shortage stories in California and in Arizona to be a big part of a crisis over the summer, man. Expect it. It's going to happen. Supply chain is definitely having a hard time in the grand transition. All right. And so I just want to say thank you again to Asteroid Fight Club. Y'all are super duper and incredible. Although I still have $499 left to raise for June. If at any time you're interested, hopefully the donation and contribution makes it through. If you don't see your name on the list, that means it didn't. So you can try and contact me another way. But I would like to say again, super duper 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 amazingly thank you to Asteroid Fight Club, all of y'all, and the people who don't want me around anymore. We're so upset today, and that made me feel good, because I tried to do a great job. Anyway, thank you. The Texas Angel, JL, Timothy, Andrea, Alexis, Lauren, Richard, Arnica, Glenda, Scott, Light Soul, Dan, Marlita, Daryl, Brian, Max, KJ, Ann, David Fountains by Design, Andrea, Juan, Melissa, Captain Late Night, Mikey T. Unknown. There was someone who sent me a contribution during a live stream where I drank 5 beers and then I forgot to write their name down and I feel really bad. I'm sorry. Jocelyn, Melissa, Angel, Charles, Randy, and everybody out there who's ever watched or contributed or been cool or sent me good thoughts or laughed at any of my jokes or just a cool person in society or has created anything that inspired me or taught me anything anywhere or created any of the things that we now use in daily life. I appreciate you. 2021 is a battlefield, so be ready. All right? God bless everyone. Stay cool, and I'll talk to y'all in the future. Peace out.